television or phone or whatever tiny device you happen to be watching this on. This is I, Jordan, and the Lucky Duck. Sure, Jordan the Lucky Duck. We'll go with that. It's been about 2 months since you have seen me, and it has been a intense 2 months. So we will have a live pick and chat. I've got 7 orders now, and then 3 more that need to be picked because this week I've had zero time, and I have orders since Sunday, and today is Saturday, so that is far too long for me to get these orders out. So you can come on the journey of picking them with me. Um, it's going to be live. If you happen to be watching at 6 a.m. on a Saturday, go back to bed. If you want to watch this later, give me some grace and hopefully everything works out. Um, yeah, we're going to talk about some changes. We'll pick the orders and hopefully this will all work out for fun and entertainment. So I'm going to, I think, turn this around and because fortunately, let's see, can we zoom out? Oh, we can. The downside is you can't really see anything I'm doing unless I bring it over to the camera. However, that's okay. You get to see this. And speaking of this, it has been a journey of 7 months and 10 days. I have been focused on my health. Wow, you probably just saw whatever my password was. That's great. Um, been focused on my health and trying to take care of this one and only body that I have. And when I started my journey, started logging on November 17th, 2025, and went. So it's been 7 months and 10 days because today's the 27th. It's not exactly 10 days because months aren't equal and all that. But started at 255 pounds and high cholesterol. I had been gaining weight decently rapidly up to that point with just all of my previous job and depression. I don't know if you could say I was clinically depressed or anything like that, but just it was a very stressful situation for my previous job, and there was basically no time to work out and be healthy. So it was my weight was gaining. I gained like 30 pounds in a year or less than that, which for some is nothing, but I'd been in my mind 220 pounds for forever, and then went up to 250 or 245, 250 on a um, health check-in, like a checkup, and later weighed myself. And it was 257, but it was midday, so I should just say 255 is the baseline. So that was kind of a wake-up call for me to be like, I need to take this more seriously because it's getting out of hand, and I don't want to die and leave my family because of something that I could have prevented. There's a tiny mark on that. Let's see if we can get that off. It's sitting there, but this guy has got this tiny little mark right there. So we're gonna see if I can erase it. Gotta remember, I don't have to talk louder because the microphone picks it all up. Usually, you can use an eraser to get this stuff off. Which it's actually like a nick. So, or is it? I don't know. It's hard to tell. So yeah, as of this morning, I am at 192. So that's down 60. You do the math, 63 pounds since November. So obviously, it feels a lot better. My health is significantly better. I had a lab check a couple months ago that I was due for, partly from the wake up call situation. And basically all my levels were good. My whatever the good cholesterol is, the LDL or whatever, that was low. So I got to figure that out or do better. And try to work on that. But I think part of that just might have been diet, because I was not getting a lot of fiber, so I adjusted and tried to get more fiber in my diet. It says there's a flesh-colored head in here, and I'm not seeing a flesh-colored head. That is less than ideal. I didn't plan on recording. Oh, there it is. It was hiding inside of a helmet. I didn't plan on recording this morning, so I didn't do my makeup or anything like that. I have my Huchi shorts on, so you get the full experience today. Sorry if this is distracting or anything. Distracting for good or bad reasons. But yeah, so busyness. Work has been bonkers. The client that I have now is an excellent client. I enjoy the projects very much. The timelines are extensive. So the project that I'm working on now, we signed in October, and it's due end of this month, and everything is coming to a rapid close. I just love it when the doors don't open. 2 doors that don't open. Those drawers too much, and then I can't get them open. I don't get sidetracked at all. Just too much in these drawers. Split them up some. That one back. Let's see, lighten the good. I can only do so much talking and cooking at the same time, so bear with me. All right, one of these in here. Okay, good stuff. Now get this drawer back in a way that isn't going to snag. Yeah, again. Like when I get some of those low dollar minifigs, not worth putting in special bags or anything. Ugh. Still tighter than I'd want. That's what she said. One of those. So now where was I? Yes, so losing weight, being healthy, work. Work has been, fairly bonkers. So, obviously, since I'm not getting to packing these orders until just now, picking and packing the orders. Some of this one's from Sunday and 3 are from Monday, and then a couple more from later in the week. Great. $54. Always fun when someone buys Chima stuff. I'm like, oh, there's a market for it, but everything sells eventually. Somebody wants it. They just might not want it in the time frame you expecting it. No, but I don't know. Some people worry about maybe I should worry more about it. But when all the good parts have sold, and then all you're left with is the low selling things, so you might have a store full of pieces, but if you have pieces that aren't sold in any great quantity, then do you really have anything? Let's see, I want a cup. So, like I said, maybe I should worry more about that, but I think it all works out. Someone comes along and buys the most random stuff that you thought you'd never sell. This spaceman got 2 separate orders where they bought 4 orange spacemen each. I'm curious if there's some mock, or if they're trying to add on to their or make their own version of that tic-tac-toe set, since that was an insider exclusive. I don't remember if it ever went on GWP or if it was only GWP, but it was a limited situation. Yeah, I do have all my spaceman parts in one, not all, white and orange, and then there's a couple of random teal torsos, but all in one little happy bin. I can just pick out what I need. Alright, so we got 4 legs, 4 torsos, 4 heads, 4 air tanks, and 4 helmets. That's one. Let's put it in here. So, yes, my large project is finally wrapping. It's a series of like 12 training videos. Sounds out really dry, but it was an interesting project. I enjoyed it. But it did require a lot of moving parts, a lot of back and forth and focus. Videos were a combined running time of somewhere between 3 to 5 hours. I never actually did the math to see what the running time ended up being, but it was a lot. Should probably make sure I'm actually still recording. Alright, air tanks. I just need legs. What about the legs? Didn't need those. They are not for eating. 3 and 4. Alright, 8 orange spacemen out the door. Or at least in a baggie until they go out the door. This was 12 bucks each, which I'm selling 8 of them in 1 week. I might be the lowest seller. I don't know. Let's make sure we're recording. Yep, seems that way. And it says there's one thing on there said there's a limit of 20. It said 25. I didn't say 25 minutes or whatever. So we're at 15 minutes now. So it might cut out in 10 minutes. I don't know. We'll find out. 3E6. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cloner heads. So that project left me with little time for little else, which is good. I'd rather be busy than wondering where my meals are going to come paid from. 5E17. Sorry if I gave you a glimpse of the rear there. 517. 6C6. The Batman. Oh yeah. This is from the whatever the Batmobile was, the big nice Batmobile. This guy. There's a $47 Batman, which thank you, buyer, whose name I'm not going to say because I don't want to get people's names up. But I would have a hard time spending $47 on a Batman. All right, a 68. Oh, as you can see, I still haven't switched over these drawers to barcode. It was such a less messy situation than what the other things were. 3, 4. I love seeing themed orders also, like the same order that got the 5 of these. They're like the first thing I picked. They just got 5 of the epaulettes and 5 of the clone trooper heads. So we're gonna have a nice little army they're building. 85. This drawer is nice and low. We can put more stuff in it. Okay. So I'm gonna put it over here. Yes, weight loss. So, if you've looked at GLPs, and they're getting this head or hair. That's cool. Yeah. So, I mean, of course, I looked at the GLP injection and all that kind of stuff. But, your Ozempics and Wegovy, however it's pronounced. But they're all expensive or have side effects that did not look too appealing. And while that might have sped up my journey, I was like, well, you could still simulate what they do in your own life. Or, I could try. And essentially just started doing diet and exercise. The two things that everyone, at least that I hated. And right one, yes. Yeah, well, that stinks. Just went behind here. Roll back forward. There we go. Yeah, so this literally is diet and exercise. Darth Vader. Just one Vader helmet. Yes. One Vader helmet. Okay. And on the little drawers. The 7 bag 6. You got 2 treads. 680 C1. How many do I have? I only have 2. Perfect. Order C. It's for thee. All the way over to the P drawers now. So we're going to take a little walk. First, I will take this over there. Yeah, diet and exercise. I went on an extreme caloric deficit. Here, I'll turn this. Oh, sorry. An extreme caloric deficit. Not one that's recommended for long term. So context, a lot of diets recommend about 2,000 to 2,000 is the daily recommended. People my age and size usually consume between 1,800 and maybe 3,000 calories, depending on what your workout is and all that. Um, and so I went down to like 13 to 1,400 calories for a long time. I'm just, like I said, my weight this morning was 192. I'm trying to get to 185. Ultimately, I don't care about the weight number. I'm trying to get to body weight or body fat percent of 15% is my current goal. Using just the smart scale, which I know can be a little inaccurate, but it's clocking me about 19%, 19.6 or thereabouts now. When I started, it was about 37%. Hold on. It's going to look so stereotypical, but I need a drink right now. So yeah, I'm pretty close to the body fat percentage that I've wanted to get to. My initial goal was just to get 200 pounds. I haven't been 200 pounds since probably since I got married. I was around 210 or so when right before COVID happened, and then COVID and kids. I love my kids, but if you have kids, you know, COVID and kids and job stress just is what made my weight go up and up over the last 5 years since COVID. But when I got married in 2010, I was about 200 pounds. I've been doing P90X back then for a while, if you remember the P90X craze. But I can confidently say that I am currently in the best shape of my life and currently strongest I've ever been. So strongest and the fittest and whatever I've ever been. So that's exciting. I'm almost 39. I'll be 39 next month. Almost exactly a month. And no, exactly a month. I'm on the 27th of July. So I turn 39. So part of me feels like I wasted my 20s and 30s by not doing this sooner. So I wish I had. I wish I'd really focused on my body. But again, with life and the job and everything, there was just not any time. But then there was not like time to figure it out. That's a big thing. It was like the mental, the mental need to figure it out. And let's see, P15K, because all of this stuff takes time. It's hard to just pick it up and say, I'll just go to the gym more or just do this more. If the mental energy isn't there, if all that, it's hard to start something. And maybe that's easy for other people. That's okay. The point is, the journey has commenced. The life change has happened. See reddish brown. B4A. The life change has happened, which is, I think, an important thing. And probably something that an injection would not have helped me with. Or at least not as much. I don't snack as much as I used to. Like, I would do stuff such as when I was making, let's see, is that gonna work? That work. When I was making the lunches for my kids in the mornings, and you're putting an Oreo into the lunch thing, I would sometimes sneak an Oreo right then, or I would sneak one later on in the day and stuff like that. And that's that adds up. Kind of stuff just literally adds up on your waistline, but the mental aspects add up, and you become this snacking person who slowly is destroying your body. You only have one body, one opportunity at this life. So that had to change. And with that, we have picked the 7 orders. Guess I'll chat for just a minute more. Still says I'm live, even though I just crossed the 25-minute mark. So let's see how long we can keep going. Yeah, I guess I talked all the time about help, which isn't a bad thing. I wasn't necessarily expecting to. But you know what? First off, June is 2 months. June is Pride Month, so happy Pride to everyone who celebrates, and happy Pride to everyone who doesn't, because people that don't made it possible for us to have a Pride Month. So thank you for that. And 2, June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, or however it's said. So I didn't intend to start talking about mental health and make this a June mental health thing, but it worked out. Yeah, I feel like I have like 8 loose ends that I didn't tie up on this, which, it's a pick and chat, so you get what you get. You don't pitch a fit, as my kids say. I'll just a couple little changes around here. Obviously, there's a giant walking pad. Oh, my desk changed. Oh, and man, I'm just like remembering everything that you haven't seen. So we'll start here. There used to be the Jon Snow Battle of the Bastards armor that was here. It was my first cosplay that I made, and hung on there proudly for a long time. You can still see kind of poking behind the box right there. The mount for what was holding the armor up. It was my first cosplay I did back in 2016, and I learned a lot about it. I learned that I love cosplay and making things. I knew I liked making things, but I enjoyed making the cosplay. But it took up so much space on the wall on this limited space office. It was broken. I didn't expect to be fixing it anytime soon. If I did it again, I would rewear it. Season 8, killed Game of Thrones excitement. Forgive me. I feel like there's another one right there. And then make that the thumbnail. Season 8 killed the Game of Thrones worldwide. Excitement for Game of Thrones. I'm sure House of the Dragon was fine. I think we watched part of season 1. It's not our jam. Yeah, it's fine. We might come back to it. But we're watching other stuff. Anyhow, so I was kind of done with the armor and done with it being on the wall, and I would have a bunch of books and other things that needed places to go. So as you can see, they occupy that now. There used to be that double, just the standard, Sterilite pull-out drawer with 3 drawers. So that got condensed down into those 2 drawers, which really it all fit into one after I finagle things. The bottom shelf is still fairly bare. That's where I can set stuff as I need. Yeah, finally have some spots for all the random loose papers, some books that I've got that I have read, to be read, stuff like that. So if you see a favorite title, comment it below. But anyhow, so that it just looks nicer, and it gives me some more vertical storage, because verticality is about the only thing I have left in this room. So there's some sets I got on clearance to part out or store away or whatever. But then additionally, I was able to move the desk. The desk came this way about 1.5 feet. Not got rid of it, but I upgraded the computer. If you can see any of this. So my editing computer, I modernized the last one I had, which is here in the ground with the red. I had built in 2019, and I do animation. So as you can imagine, 2019 is a fairly long time ago as far as animation capable computers go. So it was starting to show its age on some of these projects I've been doing. So upgraded that. I got something that's snappier and doing better. Just the internals, the keyboard and mouse and monitor are still the same. But then with moving that away, I got rid of the stuff that was on this wall here, which was really just this unit and these things. And with that, I was able to make my desk rise again because it is a sit stand desk. It has a motor. I just had not been able to use it for several years because the way stuff was, it would bump everything. So I couldn't actually raise it up. So with raising it up, I've been able to put the treadmill that my partner already had downstairs. She uses it from time to time in her studio. So easily I can bring it over. Oh, it's heavy, but with this muscle, bring it over here from time to time. You get some steps in. It's amazing how many steps you can get in uh, from a 4 a.m. wake up to when your kids come down at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, or depending on the time of year. So able to get it in a lot of steps. I've determined that I can actually animate and work on business stuff while walking, which is super nice and great to be able to do. Um, so that was a big change. It's indicative of my life. I was able to pull out a bunch of random stuff, cables and whatnot that needed to come out, so that freed up some extra space and so forth. Let's see. Anything else interesting to talk about? This is obviously always. Can I zoom out? Okay. Um, always a perpetual mess, as I have said many times before. I have minifigures galore to work on. I picked up another lot from a local guy that I need to go through. Um, Stuff like this is cataloged. It's in a Brickstore file. I just need to be able to upload it to Bricker and put them in their proper places. I'm gesturing to something flying on camera. The bin here and the boxes are full of parts that are lot sorted, and my kiddo is slowly color sorting them, and then we're uploading those. So basically, that entire bin is just needs to be color sorted, QC'd, and uploaded, and imported and uploaded. And it's just you know how it goes. It's a big process. But there's probably 60 something pounds of Lego in there that need to be added to the store. All just used plates and modified bricks and all that kind of stuff, basic things. So I've got a whole lot of uploading to do. But like I said, the job has been very busy, so there hasn't been a whole lot of time to upload everything. I'm loving the ability to switch the camera back and forth. I might just do live all the time. At least I can record live, and I'm not sure if I can edit it after that. We'll have to find out. Um, yeah, so the desk helps a lot. Um, I can actually go to the gym now because I'm not working a job that demands my life sacrifice. Um, I'm able to have way more flexibility. The job change happened back in August, so I've mentioned this before, I'm sure, but it just has helped, and being able to break free from a place that um, increasingly cares less and less about its employees is nice. Um, I'm my own boss again, so I can care about my own self. Um, but I am back to the sourcing work for animation because you have to have a whole lot more parts than I do to be able to sustain it full time as a Lego store. If you know that, if you tried this, you know that already. Um, I still would love to open up a retail location in the next 5-10 years. Um, so that ever actually happens, but um, you know, for now, I'm enjoying building the store. I'm enjoying the balance of the animation and the Lego and all that. Cat Tax is Doug, who's been featured on the channel very much, very often. As you see yourself, buddy. Um, but he likes the treadmill when I'm done with it because it's nice and warm. He has a heating bed, but sometimes my kid sits in the heating bed because she likes it. Okay, I think I'm gonna be done rambling. I'm gonna pack up these orders. There are two or three more, two more. Like I'm gonna see. I think it just came in, so I'm not like urgently pressed to get them, but I can see about it. I'd like to get all this out today, Saturday before the weekend, or well, the post office is open on the weekend. Can't think of anything else right now to discuss. I'm sure there is something else, but for now, we are good to go. Thank you very much for watching. Obviously, no one was here live because it's 6, probably 35 or thereabouts on a Saturday morning. But I'm gonna upload this, and yeah, thank you very much for watching, for being a part of the channel. I enjoy putting out the content, enjoy rambling and chatting about Lego, and anyone who is interested. So, thank you much. Have a good one.